Good morning. I thought this would be kind of a cool spot to start the video. So today, Maple and I are headed from Kingsbury over to Echo Summit. We're looking at about 40 miles in total. So the goal is 20 miles a day, give or take, just depending on where we find a good camp spot. So yeah, it's nice and toasty outside today. Nice and sunny. It's gonna be a gorgeous day. Absolutely stunning. So here we go. Hello again. So over there is the Carson, Gardnerville area, Mendon, Gardnerville. There's a whole valley. Absolutely beautiful. Stunning. Hello again from Star Lake. We are about 10 miles in for the day, so kind of at a halfway point. Star Lake. Maple's over there enjoying the water. And I think that up there is Frio Peak I don't know. Something over there is Frio that we are gonna hike in just a few minutes. So taking a nice long break, packs off, eat some food, drink some water. So we have a long water carry. So we're dry camping tonight. So I love how I say we when I'm the only one carrying water. Her pack will stay exactly the same. So this is what vloggers don't show you, is the freaking trek it is to summit somewhere. They only show you the view from the summit, not the hell it is to get there. So, a little realistic peek into backpacking, except I did stash my pack at the bottom of the mountain. Just don't tell anybody. But it's hard. I'm so thankful for the clouds giving me a little bit of shade and the breeze cooling me off a little bit. I don't know what I'd do without it. So, we just got done hiking through Peak. Now we're back on the TRT. If I'm being honest, I have a bit of a bone to pick with Onyx. I only really started using Onyx for doing big trips, and I thought, like, user error, you know, it ends up being a few more miles than anticipated or than mapped out, which if I'm doing a day trip is fine, but for overnights I am at 14 something miles right now. So for my 20-mile goal, I should only have 5 something miles left, right? Well, according to my map, where 20 miles would have been for camp is 9 miles in front of me. I don't have time to travel 9 more miles before sunset. So I'm just not sure if it's something I'm doing or if Onyx just doesn't have the TRT mapped great. I'm not sure. But I'm gonna go as far as we can. I'm gonna go till sunset. Well, we came across water. Somebody on Far Out was like, it's just a barely trickle. It took me 3 minutes to fill up my water. It took me 3 seconds. Literally 3 seconds to fill this up. People are crazy. Good morning. So last night we hiked until the sunset. And we had about 15 minutes of dusk to eat a couple granola bars really quick, set up the tent, take my bear canister 70 feet away, and get changed, hop into bed. That was pretty much it. Although the campsite last night was actually really nice because it was so quiet. Usually there's always, like, you know, stuff scurrying around in the bushes and everything, but it was so quiet so I could actually relax without every noise being like, what's that? What's that? And I'm sure just over time, as I do more and more backpacking, I will get used to that kind of thing, but it was pretty nice last night. So this morning, we are off and running, obviously. We have about 20 miles to do until we get back to the car, or back to the car, until we get to the car. But seeing as how 20 miles yesterday was more like 22 miles, I'm kind of banking on it being the same. Today, I do not have nearly as much elevation gain It's only 2,000 something feet of elevation gain, and yesterday was 5,000 something feet of elevation gain. So it should be a good day. It is beautiful, a little cold, might I say. It was 42 degrees this morning when I peeled out of my sleeping bag. But that's okay, because we're on the move now and we're warming up. The sun is just coming up. Now I gotta figure out where I'm going. Tahoe Trail. This way. Bit of an update. We just had lunch at, oh goodness, Bear Paw Lake. I'll figure out how to put it on the screen. Anyway, just had lunch there a few minutes ago. We are a little over 10 miles in for the day, and my map says there's 11 miles to the car. So I think what's happening is that it's, for every 10 miles, it's about a mile short, maybe a little more. Which, I mean, if you think about it, you go out for a 5-mile hike, that's not a big deal. So what, you're half a mile farther than you thought? Whatever, no biggie. But when you're doing 25 mile days, the extra few miles at the end of the day can be a problem. But now that I think I'm getting this dialed in a little bit more, and I'll know how it works, it won't be such an issue. I mean, realistically, the next section I'm going to do, according to the map, is only like 56 miles. So if I aim for an actual 20 miles a day, then that should even out, which will be fine. It's just, I guess, a little bit frustrating that you do all this planning and water sourcing and mapping and thought I heard back, all these things, and then it's not accurate. But anyway, beautiful breeze. I'm sure the microphone is picking that up lovely for you. We're just cruising along. I think it's going to be pretty steady flat for the next like 5 miles. And in 2 miles, probably less than that now, 1.5 miles, I meet up with PCT, which is kind of cool. And then get to the next lake, which I also can't remember the name of, but movie magic. And check in a while. Really quick, I want to jump back in and say for my future self who's watching this before I do the TRT as a full stretch between Star Lake and the lake I was just at, Bear Paw Lake or whatever the heck it is. There is plenty of water sources. Far out, I don't know what these people are thinking, if they just don't see or pay attention. There are plenty of water sources. There's no need to carry 6 liters of water from Star Lake. Okay, bye. So, Maple and I are bringing this trip to an end. We have about a mile till the car. And I have to say, it's been a really good trip. I feel like sleeping last night was better than it has been. And I don't know, met some friends along the trail. It was a good time. So, probably about 22 miles for the day, meaning we got, 44 for the 2 days, but that's okay. That was fun. Maple enjoyed herself, and she just found a dead squirrel on the side of the trail to munch on. So isn't that lovely? I'm sure she'll have a stomachache later. Oh wow. Yeah, we're gonna head home and we're gonna get ready for our 3-day weekend here in a couple weeks. That is gonna be quite an adventure. Maybe not quite as many miles every day, but then again, with my mapping skills, or lack thereof, maybe it will be just as many miles. Who knows? Anyway, thanks for joining us. If you watched the whole thing, if not, you wouldn't hear this anyway, would you? Bye.